Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome to Season 2, Week 42 of the DC Sports Digest. Not the best week in DC Sports, but I still try to focus on the positives here on this channel, so still have some stuff to talk about. So without further ado, let's just get started. Starting with the Nats, they lost the Brewers series and the A series and the first game of the Giants series, only getting one win this week, bringing them to a 45-70 record. Their defense was pretty atrocious this week, especially against the Brewers. They allowed double digits multiple times, and it just was not pretty, and they did not play very well. Not too much else going on, just a lot of call-ups, and they claimed the pitcher, they called up pitcher from the deadline. But the only notable one is, I would say, calling up Cade Cavalli, one of our draft picks and prospects. He has battled injuries the last couple years, but he had a pretty impressive debut, only allowing 3 hits. And that was our only win. We were able to walk off the A's, which was great, and had one positive game this week, so that's something. The rest of the games this week were not good because we just cannot build any momentum from good games. So hopefully we can do that the opposite this week. Because coming up this week we have the Giants series finishing the Royals series and the start of the Phillies series. That's all I have for the Nats. On to the Wizards, a few small bit of news. Eurobasket in Europe is tournament is coming up, I think, soon. They've had some friendly matches. So Star and Koulibaly have been playing for France. They've been doing pretty well, which is good to see, just seeing them get some more run, and play a lot of good teams because there are so many good international players playing in this tournament. A few other transactions, we waived Jaylen Martin and we brought back Anthony Gill, and then we heard about the first preseason games. That will start October 12th. I think we have 2 or 3 other ones right before the season starts. The opening day of the regular season is October 21st. We have confirmation of a few games like opening day and Christmas, but obviously we are not playing in those games because we are not getting any primetime games anytime soon. But I assume the schedule will be out soon, and I will let you know when the schedule does come out. That's all I have for the Wizards. On to the Caps. So the preliminary Olympic rosters were announced, I think. Tom Wilson made it for Canada, which is great to see. And again, Logan Thompson was snubbed, which is just really stupid and unfortunate. Maybe there's a chance he still makes it. I don't know how exactly it works, but if he does, and if any other Caps players make it on Olympic rosters, I will let you guys know. Obviously, that will be happening in February of next year. That's all I have for the Caps. On to the Commanders. A lot to talk about here. They signed Braylon Sanders. He was playing the DC Defenders earlier. They had a crucial RFK vote pass. They're pretty close to getting construction begin. They have one more vote in September. But it's basically a lock that the stadium will happen. And then after that, they can find a date to break ground and start building the stadium, which is really exciting. Now on to the preseason game. Our first preseason game of the year. It was pretty exciting. That excitement was lost in pretty much the first play. We allowed a kick return touchdown to TreVeyon Henderson. And it was not a great game. We lost 48-18. I don't know why I watched the slog of a game. It was 3 hours. Not very fun, but like I said, I try to stay positive here on this channel. There were definitely some positives. Biggest positive to me was Johnny Newton getting a strip sack of Drake May and on the Patriots starting offense, and we forced a turnover, which was great to see. We definitely need to see more from him and a lot of second-year guys. Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt played really well. Obviously didn't have too many chances, but he looked good. He looked like he had the instincts, obviously. In his limited touches. Trey Amos and Josh Conley Jr. didn't obviously do much in their positions, but they quietly played pretty solid. And honestly, there's not too many more positives than that. A few other solid back of the room guys in the receiver room did decent. Tay Martin and Ja'Cory Brooks did pretty well. But other than that, really not much to talk about. We just played really bad. The defense is not good. Special teams is not good. Our kicker, Matt Gay, missed the kick. So just not very good at all. But it's just preseason. 30 players were not playing. We had a couple injuries, but nothing too major, I'm hoping, beforehand and a couple during the game. So I really wouldn't worry too much. Hopefully they'll watch a lot of film, maybe run some gassers in practice, and get things fixed before our next preseason game, which is not this week, will be next week, the 18th, against the Bengals on Monday night. That will be a little bit more crucial because we'll probably play our starters a little bit, and the Bengals are also playing their starters because they're trying to get off to a fast start. They played their starters in their first preseason game. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see us against Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and all their offensive starters. I'm not worried about their defensive starters because their defense is not very good, but we'll see what happens. That's not this week. That's next week. Coming up this week, I think we just have a little more training camp and practice. Should be a pretty quiet week for the Commanders. But then it'll hopefully get busier as we get to the end of August, and hopefully at that point, Terry will be extended also. But no new updates for that. I think they're still pretty far apart. But I'll let you guys know if I hear any more about that. That's all I have for the Commanders. On other DC sports news, DC United lost to Ethiopia in their hybrid friendly. They had their next regular game today against New England. Washington Spirit started their season again after a break for I think Euro and Women's Copa America, those things. They beat Portland. They have an 8-2-4 record, 26 points, so they're looking pretty good. I think they're in third place. And their next game is today against New York. The Mystics lost to the Dream, Sky, and Lynx. Pretty bad week for them. They also made some kind of shocking trades. They traded Brittany Sykes to the Storm, but they did get a first-round pick and 2 players, one of which was waived. And they traded Leah Edwards to the Sun for J.C. Selden, so another early first-round pick from, I don't remember what year, but pretty recently, and a 2026 first-round pick swap. So I don't really know how to feel with this. Maybe these people these players aren't in their future plans, I guess. We still have our rookies from this year, and they've been doing well, so I think they're probably the focal point of this Mystics rebuild. So we'll see what happens with this. I hope these returns are good enough, and we'll see what happens. It's still very early in the rebuild, and we've already had some promising looks at pieces already, so that's good. And coming up this week, we have games against the Wings, Valkyries, and Fever. Weekly awards, I'm giving Game of the Week to Nats beating the A's 2-1, just because it was a walk-off and their only win of the week. My player of the week in that same game is Cade Cavalli. Only 3 hits allowed in 4 innings and his first start in a long time, so that was great to see. My team of the week is the Washington Spirit for beating Portland. Unbeaten record. No other teams really did that good this week. And that's all I really have for this video, so a lot to talk about, but unfortunately not too much positive. Hopefully there's more positive news coming up soon. So other than that, check out the Instagram and like and subscribe. Thank you guys for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.